Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to... Oh, I'm not going to continue on with that one. Welcome to the channel, Gaming Army. This drop finds us in a domination match on Hibernal Rift. Combat footage for this drop and the following drop, courtesy of AMX. He's currently doing some peeking and poking along the ridgeline when enters WHOLE Jenkins. I don't know what this enemy unit is doing, but he is aggressively pushing the right flank on the enemy line. So AMX is quickly shifting over to address the new threat and giving the catapult pilot a little bit of credit. He does have the Timberwolf under a lot of pressure because that is a lot of firepower on that particular mech, and he does manage to finish off the Timberwolf, which is good for him. However, it's going to cost him his mech because he is being aggressively focused by AMX, and down he goes. So I'm not sure what the strategy was there. They traded 1 for 1, but in my opinion, if he had held back with his group, he probably could have racked up even more kills. And about this time is when WHOLE Jenkins shows up. I don't know what's going on here, but the Hunchback 2C pushes in to the enemy line, and he looks like he's going full W key, and that doesn't work out for him either, and down he goes. Now, the two brothers there were working together a little more in sync. Maybe they could have gotten something done on this left flank, but both units came straight into where the enemy is going to rotate towards. So I'm left kind of scratching my head on that one. Either way you slice it, we're up 2 kills for AMX, and the score is tied 2-2. Now, he is piloting the Kodiak 3. It is a quad Gauss rifle build, and it looks something like this. It's a very capable build, very capable mech. Maybe not the best brawler in the world, but it's not too shabby either, and that's because of the quad Gauss rifles. Normally you would fire your Gauss rifles, have a cooldown period, and then have to recharge the Gauss rifles. The quad build, you can fire one set, and while that's on cooldown, start charging the next set immediately. So it does speed up the process a little bit and make it not quite so clunky to brawl. Right now, AMX is putting this mech to work, doing what it does best, and that is taking targets at range. So he's managed to identify a couple across the board, laying some good shots, and you notice none of them like it. And it appears they're wisely seeking cover to avoid the rain of the Gauss rifles. Now, about this time, the stalker shows his face again. He loses half his mech, and I don't know what's going on here, but he decides to go full Leland Jenkins, and he starts pushing the Kodiak, and he's pushing him from the low ground on top of that. So I'm not sure what he was thinking, but he's quickly taken out. And then well, I'm running out of names in the Jenkins family tree. The Nova shows up, and I don't know what he was thinking. In all fairness, I don't know if he was trying to push the Raven or thought he was going to sneak up on the Kodiak, but he pays the ultimate price and loses his mech. So the score is now 7-3, definitely a decisive power shift in favor of AMX and his team, and now they're just kind of hunting down the rest of the enemy units. There's a couple of them that are going to push in now, trying to put more pressure on the Kodiak and the Raven. So it looks like we have a Jenner, and there's an urban mech coming around the bend as well. AMX efficiently dispatches the Jenner, and now he's focusing on the urban mech, but there is a third enemy unit to be contended with, and that is the enemy Cicada. So he's in a tough position caught between two enemies, and as he spins around, the urban mech gets the back shot, taking him out of the game. At this point of the game, it's up to AMX's teammates to carry this one home and finish it off for the win. They should be able to do this. It's 9-4. The Urban Mech is being focused by 2 teammates, and he's in a world of hurt. He's lost his right arm, he's open right leg, he's open CT, he's open left torso. He's just open for business all around. There must have been a kill somewhere else on the board because the score is 11-4, which means the hunt is on for last man standing. So with all of the chaos going on, I'm not quite sure what they're looking for. I've honestly lost track. So they're going to have to spread out and get eyes on the enemy unit. Oh, and there he is. It is the Cicada from earlier, and he goes down to a well-placed shot from the outskirts to end our match. Switching over to the end screen, AMX winds up with 5 kills, 12 components destroyed, 805 damage done. Moving on to our next drop. This one has us playing Domination Mode again, only this time we're on Viridian Bog. Now, there was a light skirmisher out in Echo 8 who managed to get a back shot on AMX, and that's the damage you see on his left rear torso. But he has taken to the steps and is focusing the enemies at range, because on this map, in this mode, they most likely are going to do exactly what they're doing, coming around the Echo 5 high ground. And AMX is perfectly set to greet them as they come around that corner. And that's a huge thing about positioning that I've been talking about, is knowing what they're going to do and where they're going to do it. Now suddenly there is red smoke all over him, and it appears that that light mech from earlier is still in the backfield. He is still causing some havoc. I do have to tip my hat to the light pilot. He's playing it exactly as he should, causing havoc, chaos, and sowing the seeds of discord in the enemy backfield. Now, it has forced 2 mechs to go deal with him, and AMX has had to come down off at the high ground. But as he comes around this side of the steps, there's 2 enemy units trying to make a push. It's a summoner and an archer, and he's able to get shots in on both of those, and a couple of focus shots on the summoner, and down he goes. I really think they're looking at his paper doll thinking he's open front when he's actually open rear torsos, and his front armor is actually still in pretty good shape. So he lays a smackdown on those 2 mechs. The archer wisely pulls back, allowing AMX to dominate this section of the battlefield like this poor Arctic Wolf is learning, crossing through the open space. And there's a second unit that's pushing through. It looks like a Wolverine, and AMX gets some great shots on him, opening up right torso, right leg. A teammate is able to follow up with that and get the kill. Now, the call has come out that the enemy is trying to push Echo 6 towards Delta 6. AMX is going back up the stairs to survey the battlefield, and if that call was true, that means the enemy is about to be caught in a low ground, possibly kill box scenario. And there indeed is the bulk of the enemy team. They are surrounded on almost all sides on the high ground, and another teammate is coming around the backside of Echo 6. And there's a very important moment coming in this video, and that moment is when AMX's team chalks up their 3rd kill. There it is, 3-0, 4-0, and they're quickly gaining that momentum. I think I addressed it very well on a previous video. It's called a snowball. So the interesting part about this is the speed at which this happens, and that's indicative of the snowball. 20 seconds after they get their 3rd kill, the score quickly rockets up 6-0, and 14 seconds after that, the score rockets up again to 9-0. That is a textbook snowball. It's massive amounts of kills in a very short time frame. So you're talking 34 seconds, and half the enemy team is taken out in that time frame. This match has quickly turned into a rout, and it's more of a mopping up situation now. Score is 10-1. They're hunting down the last 2 enemy units. One is engaged on the left side there towards Echo 5, and there's something in the low ground here, and that's going to be the last of the enemy units. So switching over to the end screen on this one, we wind up with 1 kill, 10 assists, and AMX racks up 817 damage done.